This is going to be about a video about the fact you can read tarot cards for yourself. A lot of sources say it's not a good idea. I disagree. I think you can. It's just a matter of how you go about doing that. So this is how you go about doing it. In my book, The Essential Tarot, Unlocking the Mystery, I have 4 different card spreads in here. The 3-card spread, the Celtic Cross, the Gypsy spread, and one I call the 6-card Force. There's, by the way, 75 pages in this book going over card spreads. A lot of sources don't really go too deep into the card spread itself. You might have a source that has 3 or 4 card spreads, and they might use 5 pages to describe those spreads. I have 4 spreads in here. I use 75 pages going into step-by-step ways that these spreads are used. Like this. And with sample readings as well for each of those spreads. So it's really done with a lot of detail for the card spreads, as well as how to read tarot cards. But the 6-card Force is one that I made myself, and it's based on Dr. Edward de Bono's creative thinking technique called the 6 Thinking Hats. Dr. de Bono is a leading authority on creative thinking techniques worldwide. So you can look up that name, B-O-N-O, Dr. Bono, Edward de Bono, the 6 Thinking Hats, and you can find all sorts of YouTubes about it and things like that. And it forces you to see aspects of your question or situation you're looking into in ways that you might not normally want to look at it. And the 6 Thinking Hats, I created, like I said, I transformed it into the 6-card Force. The 6 positions are the information, looking at what information you have on this situation you're looking into. Do you need to find other information? What sources do you have to find that information? Things like that. So it's about the information and getting information on what you're looking into. The second position is your feelings about this situation and how they can be expressed or how they can be looked at. The third situation is positive aspects of the situation, looking at all the positive things about it. And the fourth is the negative aspects of it, looking at all the negative things about this. So this way, if you have a positive feeling about what you're looking into, you're forcing yourself to also look at the negative. And vice versa, if you have a bad feeling about this, you're forcing yourself to look at positive things about it as well. And then we look into creative ideas as the 5th aspect, or 5th position. Getting creative with this. What can we change? What can we reverse, substitute? Looking for options and ideas to get creative with it. And then lastly, the last position is the conclusion. What's the decision we're making here? Based on all these other things that we've just looked into. I would suggest using this spread with paper and pencil as well, so you can write down these comments and the things you see that sparked from information from the cards themselves, and then looking at it and coming up with a decision. It's a very effective way to look at your question and keeping out your biased opinions about it. And it works very well. This is also a good way to reading other people too. So this isn't just for you. You could use this spread all the time for clients as well. The 6-card Force in the Essential Tarot, Unlocking the Mystery. And if you just want to know about where this came from, if you want to see how I might have transformed this into something, the card reading, you could just YouTube Dr. Edward De Bono, The Six Thinking Hats, and you'll see all sorts of information about that. And you can see where you could use a card spread with this. Any creative thinking technique, it's very easy to put a card spread to it, because we're basically doing the same thing. I also wanted to go into, so that's how I say to go ahead and to look for a way of reading yourself. If you look into those 6 aspects, how much information do you have on this issue? What do you need more information? Where can I get that information? Your personal feelings about the issue. Looking at that. Then looking at the positive aspects of the issue. And then looking at the negative aspects of the issue. And then coming up with creative ideas. And well, at the end, a conclusion, a decision, based on the other ones, other positions. The 6-card force. You won't find it anywhere else but in my book.